turn heads a little bit.
Nice.
All right, you ready to go?
I'm ready.
Ryan, appreciate it. I thank you so much for being on here. This is, I think, episode 8
Nice.
of the ParkerCAST. Yep,
Okay.
I am here with Mr. Ryan McWhorter, founder and owner of Panther Island Brewing. I've already had a couple of the Panther Island beers. I figured that was the best way to.
These are good light ones to start out with.
Yeah.
Nothing too crazy.
Allergies is legit.
Yeah.
That's like one of my all-time favorites. I go to the Tavern on the Lake all the time there in
Yeah.
Weatherford, and it's always, you look up on the board, and if they got allergies, I'm in.
Nice. That's a good choice. That's one of our first beers we kind of brewed, not only as a company, but like my buddies and I came up with that.
Very
homebrew.
good.
Yeah.
Very good. So this is the ParkerCAST. So you own Panther Island, which is in Fort Worth. That's not in Parker County, but you're a Parker County resident.
Yeah.
So what kind of how long you been here? What brought you here? You know, how long? Tell me about the past.
The journey.
The
the whole thing.
Tell me about the journey. I
Yeah,
love
there
it.
you
Yes.
go. I moved to Brock when I was a wee little lad, about 6 years old. So I went to Brock from first grade all the way to 12th. So lived there my whole childhood and everything. Went to school when it was a tiny town. There was no stoplights.
which it's not necessarily anymore. Although Brock is still small, very small.
Small town feel.
But man, it's changed, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Brock is not.
Yeah, a lot of those empty fields that I used to know like the back of my hand are now full of houses and everything. But yeah, I graduated with like 30 people, and a lot of us are still pretty close to this day.
Your graduating class was about 30.
Mm-hmm.
My graduating class in upstate New York was 56. I remember that was Lawrence Taylor's number. So
Really?
I was 56, and I thought I was the smallest graduating class on the history of the planet.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
30-some people?
30, yes, it was a little over 30.
Where'd you have commencement?
It was all like in the gym, and yeah, that was it. Yeah, just in the gym.
All right, so thumbs up, thumbs down, good experience. I mean,
Yes.
small town.
Yes,
K
I
through
always
12
enjoyed my
basically.
time there. You know, small towns have their politics. I was a young punk kid, so I played sports until freshman year, got into music, and really dove into that. And it was frowned upon. My parents supported it. They were great supporters of my choice of diving into music and everything. But some people frowned upon it, but it's not for everybody, and that's okay. But I just muted them and kept on, and it was great. I mean, I'm glad I did.
Well, I want to come back to Panther Island, but we'll stay on that. Let's talk about the arts a little bit.
Yeah.
So I mean, you pursued it, and
Yes, I tried.
fairly successfully pursued it. It's your primary is Panther Island. Your
Correct.
hobby, I don't know if that's the correct word, is your band. So give us, the name. Tell us all about it. It's a huge draw here. Whenever you guys play in Parker County, it's always good for business.
Yes,
it's always good for
absolutely.
business. So talk to me about how all this started. Yeah.
I guess it's a hobby. What's the saying? Like, if you get paid, it's not a hobby.
That's right. Yeah.
I don't know, but whatever it is, it's a fun time. We started this band back in the pandemic just to kind of do something with my buddy James Irwin, who was a great musician, and started that and got our buddy Shane Blay involved.
And the band's name?
And the band is called Chattahoochee. And it's a 90s country cover band.
All right.
So
I love it.
that's kind of why we started in the band, because we could, if we,
on the chair.
yeah, there you go, Alan Jackson. We
Yeah.
definitely play that when we have to. Started that in 2020 and practiced a lot, and then started playing shows probably like 2022, something like that.
So that's interesting. I assumed that the band was around much longer than that, because you are a fairly big draw wherever you guys go, which you should be very proud of.
Right.
But you're telling me that's only 5 years old now.
Yeah.
Was there anything before that in the music scene? What were we doing then?
Yeah, we all played in different bands. James and Shane, and they were in a band called O Sleeper. O Sleeper's still very relevant in the heavy metal scene.
Okay.
I just went to. They had a show when was it, back in December, and there was like 7,000 kids there. I don't know. So they're pretty relevant.
Yeah, that's very relevant.
Yeah. And let's see, our drummer, we have a couple of drummers. Bo, he plays for the Thieving Birds and Summer Dean.
Okay.
And then Zach, he's played with a lot of artists. He grew up in New Mexico and then lived in Lubbock for a long time. He played with Brady Spencer and artists like that.
My daughter's out in Lubbock now at Texas Tech. I don't know how the music scene is, but it might be pretty great.
Yeah,
I
mean, we've been talking to the Blue Light about coming up there and playing up there sometimes. So,
were you doing anything? Did you play in front of crowds before Chattahoochee?
Yeah, before Chattahoochee, I was in a Texas country band, another cover band, and then in like junior high school, and then leading into right after I graduated, I was in a band called Valera, and we toured. We started touring probably 2003.
Oh, yeah.
So I was 16, 17, going on these short road trips. And then
Just to say you've been touring.
Yeah.
Like legit, you mean you kind of toured?
Yes.
I mean, that is cool in and of itself.
It was fun
to say I've toured.
Yeah.
We started touring. We started touring.
Yeah.
In 03. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, started doing that, especially during summer breaks. And then that turned into a full-time thing. And we stopped touring, and I got off the road in 2008.
Okay.
But I got to go on 2 national tours, met so many incredible people that I'm still really good friends with today. Up in New York, a good amount of them are
Whereabouts
up in New York.
you go?
We played.
So you toured the country?
Yeah, the whole country. Yeah, and we would play. We played upstate.
That's right.
Okay, and this is where.
I'm Saratoga.
Okay, I'm not
Albany
good
area,
at knowing where
maybe?
things are, but we played upstate in, I want to say Poughkeepsie.
Poughkeepsie's cool. Yeah, Poughkeepsie.
And then a lot in Manhattan.
Oh.
Some on Long Island. We would play at a basement of a church in the Bronx, and that show was always bonkers.
Oh, that sounds wild.
Yeah.
So you're playing in New York.
Yes.
Clubs. Small. I mean, although you're playing in New York, so it's big, but it's small clubs. It's
Yeah, the biggest venue was called the Crazy Donkey, and that was on Long Island, and that held about 2,000 kids. And the band we were on tour with was from there. They're called The Sleeping, and then we were on the road with them in a band called A Day to Remember, and that band was really blowing up at the time. And there's every room was packed every night. It was great.
I feel bad. I don't know. I want to know these names. I want to go YouTube these.
A Day to Remember. You'll definitely know. The Sleeping
Okay.
is like a big. They're like a big underground type band right now. They're still. They just put out some new stuff too. But
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Still rocking.
yeah, they're still rocking. A Day to Remember is very much rocking.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah,
That's very cool.
They've toured with almost a lot of people. Blink 182 was one of the big bands they toured with.
Oh, legit.
Co-headlined with
Yeah.
too.
Really?
Crazy,
That is pretty crazy.
nutty.
I mean, they're kind of. They've entered like the legacy. Blink 182 is now doing, the vintage shows.
Yeah.
I mean, they're so big that it's like, yeah, that's awesome. Wow, that's
Yeah.
big time.
Fun
That's big-
times.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep, it was great.
I mean, good. Any bad? Like horrible fights, bars closed down.
Yeah.
People going crazy. Well, any like
Yeah,
great
any
memory?
altercation that I've ever been in my life was mostly on the road. And I mean, you're in bars late at night drinking, people getting rowdy, and so fights were kind of bound to happen. We're the boys from Texas, we
Yeah.
kind of had that going for us. We were nice until you weren't.
What was the
and
style
then-
of music? So now you're doing '90s country, but what was this
That
band
was
before?
like southern rock, southern metal.
Oh, it was southern.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any
But
of the-
nothing, no country. I mean,
Okay,
it was
no
like
cowboy hats.
It was like if you took Toby Keith and like threw breakdowns on it and stuff.
Oh,
I don't know.
All right. I'm with you. That's
Yeah,
good.
it was fun. It was a fun time of my life, but it wasn't making any money. But I got to see so many cities and great things, and again meet a bunch of
Yeah.
people that I'm still friends with today. So it
Whole
was-
country. I mean, you then toured across the northern. You went to
Yeah.
the Rust Belt states. You've been to the West
yeah,
Coast.
across the Rockies, up,
Yeah.
up to Washington State, all the way down, California, back over. West Coast was always tough. I mean, those mountains sure are mountainous. So we were blessed enough to.
You just mean the travel. The people were fine.
The people were great. It's honestly, we were blessed enough to have a bus at one point, and it takes a while to get over those mountains on a big old bus. So
That makes me think of the Journey song "Faithfully," the video.
Right.
Like in "Faithfully," they're like on this bus,
Yeah.
and they're winding up, and there's snow in the background.
Yeah.
And faithfully.
there was
Yeah.
definitely moments where, yeah, it was surreal. If I was like the first one up or something, you could like open up all the blinds and, you
Just
get a 360
mountainside.
view of everything going on. It was like,
Did you appreciate
this is
it?
my life.
Did you appreciate it?
I should have. I was talking to our old lead singer the other day, and I was like, I should have appreciated it more. I was a young punk kid. I toured from, like I said, I was 16 up until I was like 22, 23. And while I lived in the moment a lot, I guess, as cheesy as that is.
As
But,
one does at that age.
I mean, I also was partying a lot, and that made me forget a lot of the things that I've done. So
I'm with you. I'm with you.
but
I was told I had a great time touring.
I woke up a lot of mornings. Hey, man,
Hey, how was that?
do you remember what you did last night,
Yeah,
dude?
yeah.
Yeah, is that why I'm all cut up and bruised?
Yeah, it's tough. Yeah,
It was fun,
man.
but I lived the rock star life, and that life.
All right, so when did that?
Yeah, that
when
kind
did
of
that kind of come to an
came
end?
to. I got married in '08, and that's when that came to an end. My then girlfriend, now wife, she was so supportive of it. I made no money, and she helped me. She was a waitress, and she helped me with that. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
like,
I
man,
do. I
make a
know
lot of
exactly
money,
what you're
but so she supported me on that. It was a personal choice of I'm ready. I'm ready to get off the road. I'm ready to be home longer than a month.
Mm-hmm.
Type thing. I was gone probably 9 to 10 months out of the year. A lot of times, miss a lot of.
That's a lot.
Miss a
yeah.
lot of stuff back home.
And
So-
this is with the girlfriend wife, right? This
Uh-huh.
You're touring.
Yes.
She's back home.
She's
you're
back
away
home.
Yeah, it's a long time.
And she was she was very supportive, and still is very
Mm-hmm.
supportive of my music, and that it still means a lot to me. So
Well, you're an artist. I mean, right? Let's kind of call a spade, right? You have an artist mind. I don't. I'm definitely the opposite side. I appreciate the arts, but I can't
hey,
do it.
talking is an art form. man.
Well, then I'm an artist.
Yeah,
then
you
we
are.
got two artists here. But no, seriously, I mean it's the brain type, and you're driven by a different thing that many of us are driven by, and I want to take that into the Panther Island Brewing kind of
Yes.
conversation. John Loftman was sitting in that seat. He was my second guest. You know,
Yep.
he's a buddy. He was actually my first guest, but I screwed up the audio, so John came back and he was my second
Oh,
guest.
nice.
He was awesome. He's the best. But John's an artist too, and we talked a lot about that. And I think the good ones, you see that it's brewing beer is like you're creating. It's the recipe. Probably not that undifferent from a chef,
Absolutely.
or somebody who's really into the art side of it, and that's what you're doing. And I think the best ones, you can't. I think you can't be, STEM, science, technology, engineering.
Yeah.
Although you have to be a bit of a chemist too. Don't
Yes.
get me wrong there, and
Yeah.
and a biologist.
You have to respect all that. and-
Yes, you have
and
to
know it.
respect all that and learn it, but the art side of it. So I do see a very natural transition from
Yeah.
being somebody who's very artistic, you're very into the arts, you're passionate about it. That's what fires that side of your brain, and then you move into kind of creation of this fermented beverage. So talk to me about the origins of Panther Island.
So my whole brewing journey started after I got off the road, and again, 2008, going into 2009, wanted to do something creative that I could do at home, that kept me at home, because I got some offers to go back out on the road and make, back
Money.
then, decent money, and with some really reputable bands, but I just wanted to be home, but I still didn't want to lose that creation. I kind of wanted to take a break from music for a bit, so that's where I found that love in beer. And she bought me a Mr. Beer kit one Christmas. My wife,
Really?
Brittany.
Is that how it started?
That's how it started.
So you're
Brittany.
one of a million. Every brewer, it's like, well, I started with Mr. Beer. Really?
I
mean,
know, and
that's
that's
how
why
it starts.
I say when people are like, "So, how'd your journey start?" I'm like, "Oh, it's a very typical story. Home
Yep.
brewer turned, I guess pro." So, started home brewing and making really terrible
What
beer.
was your first
with that.
system? 5 gallon?
That Mr. Beer kit?
No, like, so you got Mr. Beer.
Yeah, it was one.
But you didn't jump
maybe
from
a
Mr. Beer to
gallon.
Panther Island. So
No.
you got yourself a home, a 5 gallon.
Yep.
Maybe the red Gatorade or the
Yeah.
Jell, right? Okay.
Yeah, so
Orange.
my buddy who I met on tour,
Okay.
he lived in Florida at the time, and he ended up moving here. He lives in Dallas now, but toured with him in 06, and so in 08, him and his wife moved here, and just more job opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
And so him and I started brewing a lot, and that's what kind of brought us close to and we kind of saw that, like, man, brewing is a lot of fun. He's an artist. We're having a lot of fun with this. Like, let's get more friends involved and make it like a friend hang thing. And that was the camaraderie.
Still just home brew.
Yeah.
Let's get friends to hang, just home brew.
Yeah, just homebrew.
Have a
hang
couple,
out.
have
Yep.
some fun, blah, blah, blah. The
Yep.
rest- yeah.
And that's what.
Maybe forget a little bit of it.
Yeah, for me, maybe. And that's kind of what also kind of fueled that passion for me was, man, this is cool. Like the camaraderie that this
Oh, yeah.
liquid does is something that I can't explain. That this is awesome. So I kind of wanted to keep doing it. And I remember,
It is hard to replicate.
yeah,
Guys hanging around, having some beer, making the beer.
making beer, making something.
yeah.
That was always so cool to me. I made this, like, or we made this. It's so
Well, for those
cool.
that don't know, guys love going out and grilling.
Yep.
Grilling's 45 minutes at the most.
Yeah.
If you're burning stuff, it's 45 minutes.
Right. Yes.
Brewing is 8 to 12 hours if you include the setup, the clean, the everything. Like, you get to hang out with guys like all day long. And
Yeah.
gals. There's girl brewers too. But you get
Absolutely.
to hang out with your bros for the day.
Yes.
Like, it's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, we're a pretty tight-knit community at Panther Island. We call it like the Panther fam. And it really truly is. Like, I freaking love everyone that I
Love
work
it.
with,
That's
you know what I
awesome.
mean? I truly do. And then some people say that's unprofessional. I don't care. I tried the tough love thing. I tried to be I'm your boss. I can't ask you how your day's going. That's just not me. So
Ryan, I believe you catch more flies with honey than you do vinegar.
There you
Is
go.
that the saying?
Yeah.
It's not for everybody.
I don't know.
And it doesn't always work for me. Sometimes I get
Exactly.
taken advantage of a little bit. But
Yeah,
I think
I can
I've
feel
found in
that.
life I'd rather be the honeybee than
Yeah.
the stinger bee. So and that's
Absolutely.
what works out, and the employees seem to like it.
Yeah. So
yeah, Panther Island. So we're home
started
brewing.
brewing with friends and stuff, and then started volunteering at a brewery in Dallas, on and off for about 2 years. That was
Which
like
one?
Petacolis.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is
And-
Colas not with us anymore?
Yeah,
Or-
he's
They're
definitely-
still rocking.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're very much relevant
Well,
in the beer scene.
And because we've had some
Yes.
rocky roads in the
I
last
Especially-
48 months.
yeah.
And Dallas has had a few. What was the one with the rooster on the can? Is that the one I'm thinking of?
Was
Four
that
Corners?
Four Corners is still they sold.
Oh, they're rocking.
But
okay.
then
I'm putting people in their grave before they
yeah,
need to be.
yeah.
No.
Well, I mean, there was unfortunately, a lot of closures,
Yeah.
especially after pandemic, and then just bills catching up to everybody. We're one of them. We're blessed enough to still be relevant, still around.
Well, and that's I feel like we haven't got to where Panther Island started, but I do want to ask this. So here in Parker County, we have had breweries and have breweries, and Edgewise is going to open back up. And Park County just moved to a new spot.
Yep.
Pathfinder, Bourbon and Brands, small brewery. We haven't had a single package brewery, and that's something I wanted to pick your brain about, or just get your take on, or if you've never even thought about it. But we got a lot of land out here. You could easily build a factory. Why have we never had a package brewery?
Yeah.
Is that the harder business? Is if you had it to do over again, is the brew pub the way to go, or is the package brewer? I mean, what do you package brewery, you're making cans, and you're pumping out cans.
Production
and bottles.
brewery, yeah.
Production brewery. We don't have that here. In the
Right.
county.
I think it's all that depends on your business model, kind of what you're going for. For me, it was production. Again, I volunteering at Petacolas, got to see that production side of it, seeing kegs getting pumped out and going to accounts and stuff. And I was like, man, that's what I want to do. Fortunately and unfortunately, we were blessed enough to get funds from my family and from my childhood friend who he's since passed, but the funds that
what was his name?
His name was Rob T. We call him Rob T.
Rob T. Shouts out Rob T.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's super expensive.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to say it.
Oh.
Production brewing. So what I always say is we started a production brewery on a brew pub budget.
Right, you mean getting it started?
Yes.
The equipment.
Yeah, everything. And I mean, there's so much that goes into production and distributing and just the day-to-day.
No, actually, that's a good point. Like when you start the brew pub, there's a lot of upfront costs. You got to build the restaurant, you got to build the decorations, maybe even more. It's crazy. But the first day you open, you might have a $20,000, $30,000 revenue night.
Yeah.
You're making big money right away. Now, there's expenses, of course. We're not talking profit, but just like the money starts coming in quick. Right. I do remember that with the production brewery. They're like, make sure you got like a year and a half worth of like revenue. And it's like,
we did.
You barely get open. Yeah, that's what I mean.
Not.
Like, how do you even get open? All right. So how'd the start go? Rocky Road?
So, again, 2 years at Petacolas, on and off. He knew I wanted to start a brewery, and Michael Petacolas himself was kind enough to kind of take me under his wing and kind of show me a little different things here and there. But I'd mainly, and brewing is about cleaning mainly. So cleaned a lot of kegs, cleaned a lot of fermenters, but got to brew some beers with him and pick his brain on a bunch of stuff. And then we leased a small warehouse in Haltom City from like 2012 to 2013. And that's where I got my all-grain system, and it was still a small, like 15-gallon all-grain system, but started making beers there, and that to me actually tasted good, so I invited friends and family out. They were all like, man, this is great. But I was like, okay, like what do you like about it? What don't you like about it? And they were like, oh, nothing. This is awesome.
Allergies?
One of them was allergies, yeah.
Okay.
But I needed real feedback, so I started inviting people from the industry, Petacolas, the guys from the Pro Brew Shop at Texas Pro Brew Supply.
Oh, Stubby.
Yep, Stubby.
Yep.
Yeah, who we still get our stuff from today.
Yep.
I started my homebrew journey when he was a tiny little homebrew shop.
I remember the shop.
Yep.
Yep.
And so I started inviting people from the industry, and when they started kind of saying, man, I think you have something. This is really good.
Mm-hmm.
That's what kind of perked the ears of my mom and stepdad and Rob T. And so we started actively looking for a production space, and then my wife found it on her way to Joe T's, going outside of downtown.
Yeah, that's right where it is, on the way to Joe T's.
Yeah. Yep. And it had a sign that said Texas Beer Company across the front. They used to be a brewery. They closed down in 2001.
Dude, you are jogging my memory.
Yeah.
Because all I think about now is the Panther Island, but you're right. It was the Texas Brew Company sign or whatever that was there. Can't say I ever drank their beer. Can't say I ever went in there.
Yeah.
But I saw that sign. I worked up in the north side starting in like 05.
Yep.
So I'd be driving down by the courthouse occasionally, and I always saw that.
Texas Beer Company.
Yes.
Yeah. And I really wanted to save the sign, but as I was taking it down, it was so brittle. Because like I said, that building sat vacant for over 10 years, so it all fell apart. Oh, man, I hate it. It looks so cool.
So for those of you listening, you leave the courthouse in downtown Fort Worth, and you head north like you're going to the stockyards. Panther Island's on your left, maybe 2 blocks, 4 blocks. You're like right there on the left. You see Panther Island Brewing, big new apartment complex. Kind of is the first thing you'll see.
Blocked our view.
Kind of blocked the view.
Yeah.
But you're right there north. You are the Panther Island. You're there.
Yep. So we're right at the start of that Panther Island
I see you
district.
from my desk.
Oh, really?
So my desk at the Tarrant County College Trinity River campus, we have the windows. I'm the last building, second floor. I look out. I see the apartment complex, and I just go left slightly.
Yeah.
And there's the back of your building.
Nice.
I see you from my desk. I see the back of your building. It's kind of funny. Actually.
I went to college there, and I remember I would stand out on the balcony and I would look at that electric building that's there,
yeah.
that old one.
Yep.
But I remember being like so naive and being like,
yeah.
I'm going to start a brewery right there.
All right.
I mean, it was, we did. There's one
Yeah.
in that building. But
Kind of did.
Kind of did. But found that place in 2013-ish, and then moved in 2014, had to renovate it all. It was just an empty shell. There was no equipment in there other than like some pieces of a bottling line that were super old. I mean, they were trash.
So nothing you could reuse.
No.
A bar.
Nope.
Nothing.
So the bar was built by the Ellises, which is my wife's cousins, Cliff and Colt and Barney.
Oh, they built the bar.
Yes.
Very cool.
Yeah, it truly was like a family
That's
deal.
the Edgewise 8 family.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's why, man, they've always been so supportive with us, and then we got to return the favor to them when they opened. So brewing is like a family affair.
It is kind of a family affair.
Truly.
Talk to me. I didn't plan on mentioning this, but the allergies, we got the little medal on the bottom. So this, we got some awards.
Yeah,
Panther
this
Island.
one's won 2, a silver in
Is that
2015. Yep, 2 GABF medals, which
That's
is
Great
huge.
American Beer Festival. That is huge. It's in Denver, Colorado every year.
Yep.
And when you win a GABF, shoot, gold, bronze, or silver. I mean, you take
doesn't
any
matter,
one of
yeah.
them. You're winning a GABF. You're up against the entire country. You're up
Yeah.
against an international audience.
Yeah.
So we got 2.
2 with allergies. Yep.
2 for allergies.
Silver and a gold. Yep.
Gold.
Gold, yeah.
Is that what
that
that
top
is?
one? That top one's a gold.
Nice.
In 2020, it was the Pandy, and we weren't even able to be there, but it was great. It was
Yeah.
cool.
I went once with my wife, and it was.
Was it bonkers for you?
Well, I've been told.
Do you remember it?
So I've been told I had a great time at GABF. No, it's yeah.
That's what tour is like every night.
Oh yeah. That's funny.
No, it is a really good time. I love going up there and going to visit all the breweries.
Absolutely.
Up there, they have so many cool events and seeing.
Well, we talked about
everything.
camaraderie, and it's hard. That's the whole thing. Like when you're at GABF, it's all these. I was about to say bros. It's girls too. It's all these beer
It's a
loving
huge community.
folks.
Yeah.
Now we're about to finish, so I do want to let you get this shout out. You were just talking to me off camera. You went through a hiring process. We got somebody new to announce, or we got a new brewer, a assistant brewer. What do we got?
Yeah.
going?
So
just today.
Yeah. So today is our head brewer, Dakota. It's his birthday.
All right.
So I mean, by the time this comes out, it won't be his birthday anymore. But so we got to hire one of his friends. His name's Nathan, and he was from Wild Acre as well.
Gotcha.
The brewery in Fort Worth, and so we're very excited to have him part of the family.
Nathan, welcome to the family.
Yes, we're all very excited. So that was a nice birthday present to Dak today.
Good
Yeah.
deal. Good deal.
Got to surprise him with that.
All right, as we end, I'll let you have the mic here for the closing. You got two little ones.
Yep.
2 little ones.
Yeah,
So,
a boy and a girl.
boy and a girl. So the way this works, technology. It's not pen and paper. It lasts forever. So, as this lives in the ethos, Dad passes on. 20 years go by, 40 years go by. They can still access this video of you.
Nice.
What's our words of wisdom to live by? We're talking to our little ones now. Hey, from Dad. This is.
Oh man,
This
from
is-
beyond the grave.
This is it. This is from Ryan. Hey, this is what I want you to do, girl and boy. This is what I want you to do. I love you. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, I don't know. Do I look at you or in the camera?
That's up to you. What's your thoughts on life?
Hey, enjoy life. Put your head down and work, and the rest will work itself out.
Put your head down and work. I love it.
Yep.
That's great advice, man.
Yeah.
When you work hard, you typically.
That tends to work out. You know why?
Tends to
Because you
work
don't
out.
worry about the rest of the stuff.
That's right. Awesome. Ryan
right.
McWhorter, Panther Island Brewing. Thank you, brother.
Hey, thank you.